Hey there and welcome back to Figure Barn, where today we're taking a magical sleigh ride through the entire collection of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer Funko Pops. If you're like me, the 1964 Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer special holds a certain place in your heart. It's a timeless classic that has brought joy and wonder to our holiday seasons for generations. So, in honour of this beloved stop-motion masterpiece, we're showcasing all the iconic Funko Pop figures inspired by these iconic characters. From our favourite red-nosed hero to his trusty friends and a few memorable foes, we've got all the charming figures that this beloved holiday classic brought to life. So get ready to relive the magic and nostalgia as we explore the world of Rudolph and his Funko friends. Let's dive in and bring a little bit of the North Pole to you. Now, for those of you that don't know, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is a heartwarming tale of a misfit reindeer who turns his unique trait into a beacon of hope. Set in the whimsical North Pole, the story follows Rudolph, a young reindeer with an unusually bright red nose that makes him the subject of ridicule amongst his peers. Determined to find out where he belongs, Rudolph embarks on a journey of self-discovery. Along the way, he meets an eccentric cast of characters, including Hermie, an elf who dreams of being a dentist, and Yukon Cornelius, a prospector with a taste for adventure. Together, they confront the abominable snow monster and visit the island of misfit toys, a refuge for quirky toys longing for a home. When a fierce snowstorm threatens Christmas, Santa realises that Rudolph's glowing nose is the perfect solution to guide his sleigh through the night. Now, as I say, we're going to go through the full set of figures that we have for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, so that's 12 in total. 6 that were released last year, and 6 ones that have been released in 2 separate batches this year. So starting with the little reindeer himself, Rudolph. Now, I'm sure you know this, but Rudolph is the young reindeer born with a unique glowing red nose, which initially makes him an outcast among the other reindeer. So there he is there with his signature red nose, stumpy little antlers on top there, and he's got white accents to sort of his muzzle and his chest and around his hooves as well, which is a nice little detail. Now, Rudolph is the son of Donna, who's one of Santa's original reindeer, if you like. Now, interesting fact, Rudolph was voiced by Billy Mae Richards, who at the studio for some reason did not really want it to be known that he was voiced by a woman. Maybe to keep the magic going, I don't know. To keep it hidden, she was credited as Billy Richards to try and keep the secret going. But there we go, there's the original little Rudolph there with his big red shiny nose. Next we have Hermie the elf. Unlike the other elves in Santa's workshop, Hermie dreams of being a dentist rather than making toys, which often leaves him feeling like a misfit because of his unconventional aspirations. Despite the teasing from his fellow elves, Hermie's courage and perseverance shine through as he joins Rudolph on a journey of self-discovery. Now, he's got a very distinct look there with his blonde hair, blue and red elf outfit and little small elf hat just on top there. He's also clutching a book on dentistry in one hand and a pair of dentist pliers in the other, giving some kind of idea to what he'd really like to be doing over the Christmas period. Now, there are some conspiracy theories that Hermie is not actually an elf at all and is actually a real boy due to having different eyes and seems to be the only elf without pointy elf ears within the movie itself. It does raise the question a little bit as to why he's working making toys at all, but I'm sure it was either unintentional or just an oversight. I don't think there's any massive conspiracy theory, but you never know. And following on from Hermie, we have the big man himself, Santa Claus. There's no show without Santa at this time of year. In this special, Santa initially comes off as a bit more serious and more concerned about the snowstorm threatening Christmas and the challenges it presents. But there he is in his classic red suit, white fur trim, black boots and a red deerstalker hat there with a black band, which he wears when he first meets the young Rudolph rather than the standard Santa hat that you see him traditionally wearing. Now, he also has in one of his hands there some sleigh bells, which he puts on Donna early on in the movie during this first musical number. When Santa discovers Rudolph's glowing red nose, he initially doubts his ability to guide the sleigh. However, Santa's perception changes dramatically when the storm hits, and he realises that Rudolph's unique trait is actually the perfect solution to navigate through the blizzard, as it would be with a big red shiny nose as a beacon on the front. So yeah, has to eat his words a little bit by the end of the film. But there he is. It's a really nice sculpt, and as I say, the red deerstalker hat just gives it a bit of a different look to your standard Santa. But there he is. And next up we have Bumble, also known as the abominable snow monster of the north. Now, despite his initially frightening appearance with his sharp teeth and towering stature, Bumble undergoes a bit of a transformation when Hermie's dental skills come in handy to extract Bumble's teeth, rendering him fairly harmless. Now, he certainly fills the box, this pop. He's fairly big, as he should be, being an abominable snowman, with his icy blue face, lips, hands and feet surrounded by his white fur, obviously to keep out the North Pole weather there. And he's still got his full set of big teeth within this pop, so obviously Hermie hasn't done his dentistry to extract them all just yet. Now, it's a bit of a myth that Hermie extracts Bumble's teeth due to toothache, which is sometimes mentioned. It's never actually mentioned within the movie that this is the case, although he does seem a lot happier with them out, even helping to put the star on top of the elf's Christmas tree. So actually it turns out to be quite a nice guy, but only with the unfortunate event of having all his teeth extracted. Yeah, that's Bumble. So fifth on our list of Rudolph pops is Charlie in the Box. Now, he resides on the island of misfit toys, a place for toys that have some unusual qualities. Now, Charlie is pretty much your standard Jack in the Box, but instead of being a Jack in the Box, he's a Charlie in the Box, and what makes him believe he's less desirable, because he's not a Jack in the Box, basically. And this is quite a cool figure, bit of a different sort of sculpt from your standard Funko Pop there, as he sits there with his big red nose and pink rosy cheeks, sitting in his purple Jack in the Box there, Charlie in the Box, wearing his outfit with his green and red diamonds and bells on his collar, and he actually has a more of a standard sort of Christmassy hat on there, including the white pom-pom right at the top there. I don't know if you can quite see that in there. Now, at the end of the film, he, Dolly and the spotty elephant are picked up by Santa, Rudolph and the rest of the sleigh team, and actually taken on to new homes that will appreciate them and their differences. So, happy ending for Charlie in the Box and a couple of his misfit toy friends. And the last of our 2023 releases is Sam the Snowman. Now, voiced by the legendary Bert Ives, Sam serves as the narrator to the story, guiding the audience through Rudolph's adventures in the North Pole. And there he is with his round, snow-covered body, black bowler hat and green trim, and a sort of tartan waistcoat there. He also sports a bow tie, and he's got his silver pocket watch as well, watch and chain going across his chest. You can also see that he's got a green umbrella over one of his shoulders, which is used for keeping out the blizzards of the North Pole. Now, with most of the cast being unknown Canadian voice artists at the time, Ives was a late addition to the cast, as NBC thought that there should be at least one notable name that they could sell to the audience, being a fairly big sort of singing star within the 60s. Some of you may know the film Elf. It's one of my favourite Christmas movies as well. And Leon the Snowman in Elf is very much based on the design of Sam the Snowman. Very similar sort of facial features, but a bit of an update on his body. Now, with the next 6 being released this year, it actually coincides with the 60th anniversary of the original release, and with it being shown every year since then, I believe that makes Rudolph the longest running holiday TV special ever in the United States. It doesn't get shown every year over here in the UK, but the first figure that we had from this 60th anniversary set is back to Rudolph himself. Now, down here there's a slight change to the box design, which marks the fact that it is the 60th anniversary. Now, this one is actually on a clear stand, showing Rudolph as he flies through the night, readying himself for present delivery duty, I would have thought. Again, the standard colouring with the white bib and very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, it would even say it glows. Again, not going to go too far into song, but yeah, it's nice that it's a slightly different sculpt from the original. Yep, there's Rudolph flying through the North Pole skies. And next we have Rudolph's little girlfriend reindeer, Clarice. There she is there. She encourages him to embrace his differences and help boost his confidence when he starts to feel a bit more like an outcast. Takes a bit of an interest in him when they're learning how to fly. So there she is there with the long eyelashes and a lighter brown coat with sort of white bits again on her bib. Now she's got a festive red and white bow on her head, which is sort of a standard feature of her, a bit like Minnie Mouse's. Now I do think this is the same body sculpt as the original Rudolph. I'll just grab that here. I think they are the same, they're just posed the opposite way. Now after she goes off looking for Rudolph with Donna and Mrs. Donna, they're captured by Bumble, though eventually she is saved by Rudolph, Hermie and Yukon Cornelius. So all's well that ends well. But there you go. There's little Clarice. And here we have King Moonracer. Now he's the majestic lion-like creature with wings who rules over the island of misfit toys, dedicated to finding homes for all the misfit toys basically. Now it's another heavy pop, this one, and naturally being a king, he's got his gold crown with his red jewels on it and white trim there at the top. He's got his big brown mane surrounding his lighter brown body and big black wings. You can just see those at the back there going down the side of his body, which allows him to fly across the sky patrolling the island, underscoring his role I guess as a guardian and protector of all the misfit toys. And the next one from the set we have is Mrs. Claus. Now obviously she's Santa's devoted wife and is always concerned about his well-being, nagging him to eat, Papa, eat, to ensure he has enough energy for his big journey. Now her hair is styled in a sort of black bun, and there she is there wearing her purple dress with white trim, accompanied by a white apron. Obviously just coming out of the kitchen doing some cooking, holding a tray with a couple of gingerbread on there, ready to offer them to Santa as he frets about the storm set to arrive and threaten Christmas. Now Peg Dixon, who voiced Mrs. Claus, was also the voice of Mrs. Donna, Rudolph's mother. So she had a couple of voice characters within the movie itself. Yeah, I quite like this sculpt as well. You know, she's got a sort of bit of a bulbous chin there, which replicates what she looks like within the movie itself. And the gingerbread are a nice touch as well. So yeah, nice pop that one, Mrs. Claus. Now the last two that we have for today are the latest to be released from the 60th anniversary and came out not that long ago, with first being a metallic release of Rudolph. So you can see there, look at him shining in the light. So again, it's nice that this is a new sculpt and not one that's been reused from a previous release, with him there in more of a sitting pose with a metallic brown body and a bit of an extra design flourish to his white bib and the inside of his ears there as well, which is nice that it's a bit more detailed there. Now it's a shame that his nose hasn't been given a metallic treatment and is still a sort of more of a matte finish, as I would have thought that would be the obvious design choice here. Another idea would have been to make his nose glow in the dark, or even one of those ones that lights up like a special edition, which they've done on a few pops in the past. But no, it's just the metallic body there. But yeah, rather snazzy and a slightly different look. Yeah, it's nice that they've sort of added a few design flourishes to this pop there for little Rudolph. And the final pop of our marathon video of Rudolph pops is the metallic version of Bumble. So I really like this one. The metallic on the blue really does make it sort of pop and stand out a bit more. And on the white fur, it also gives it a sort of silvery, icy look, I suppose. Now it also has shades of, some of the art series pops, with the snowflake designs being sort of embossed across his body and around his face as well. Just gives it that extra something that the original one didn't have. Again, this one is a new sculpt rather than being the same as the first version. If I grab it here, with the arms being closer to the body, and even the head is new as well, with a slight variation to some of the features and the fringe, etc. So yeah, it's good that they've actually gone back and redesigned it, even though it's only sort of 12 months old. But yeah, just livens it up and freshens it up a bit, rather than just buying the same thing but metallic. So yeah, nice touch. So there's our two Bumbles. And that just about wraps up our festive showcase of all the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer Funko Pop figures. I hope you've enjoyed this nostalgic trip through our beloved characters of the 1964 holiday classic. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more fun, festive content, unboxings and movie showcases, or even visit our website to see if there's anything you need for your collection. So until next time, stay merry and bright, and may your holidays be filled with joy and wonder. Happy holidays everyone, and we'll catch you in the next one.